plays the guards.
Oh,
He's trying to protect or prevent the ninjas from accomplishing their mission.
Okay.
For the purpose of this demo, we're going to play an open mission, so all you're doing is you're searching for an artifact that you've been tasked to steal.
Sure.
In the game itself, there are 12 missions, which range from stealing stuff to assassinating the daimyo to killing all the guards or whatever. That's randomly drawn, so the ninjas know what their mission is, but the guard doesn't know.
Interesting. I like that one.
So in order to fulfill their mission, the ninjas move around in this particular board is the mansion, and they need to search in particular locations, and that's what these markers are for. Now the guard player locates those to the mansion as he sees strategically fit. They range in value from 3 to 6, and that's how hard it is to search that area essentially. So the guard player can be quite strategic in how he places them and makes different. Now each mission has a difficulty rating, ranging from 12 to 16. For this demo purposes, we're going to reduce that to 8, just so we can streamline it slightly.
Sure.
And essentially what it entails is every time they successfully search on a location, the ninja player will collect a pool of these tokens.
Okay.
Every time they click one of those, they'll roll a d6, add that to the number of tokens they have. If they reach the target number, which for the demo will be 8, then they located what they're looking for, or they've located the person they're going to kidnap or assassinate, or whatever the case may be. The mission card gets revealed to the guard player just to make sure no one's cheating.
Yeah.
And then depending on the parameters of the mission, the ninjas might need to escape from the board, or possibly they self-sacrifice themselves, so they might just have to kill the daimyo or whatever the case may be. That will be explained on the mission card. In this particular mission, all they need to do, again just to streamline it, is they need to find the artifact they're trying to steal. As soon as they found that, the ninjas will win the game. If the guards can prevent them from doing that, or raise the alert level, or stall the ninjas enough so that the sun comes up, then the guard player will win the game. Yeah? There's always 3 ninjas, so it's a 2 to 4 player game. If there's 2 players, then 1 player plays all 3 ninjas, and obviously if there's multiple players, the ninjas just get distributed between the available players. So the ninjas have now, because the ninjas always send 3 ninjas, so the clan always sends 3 ninjas, and they're always from a different house. So there'll be 3 varieties of ninjas. Now they have access to different abilities in this form of dice. So for argument's sake, she's very good at stealth. So she has 3 black dice, which are representative of stealth, and 1 combat dice.
Sure.
On the other extremity, we have he only has a single stealth dice, but he has 3 combat dice. So if the ninjas want to perform a combat action, they need to have access to a white dice. If they have no white dice, they can't perform combat actions. If they want to perform a stealth dice, which they use to sneak around undetected or search the areas, pick the locks on the doors, they need to have black dice. You can always roll as many dice as you want, but one of them has to be the type of dice you're rolling. So for example, if I want to fight this guard here, I would have to roll at least 1 white dice, but I can roll all of these dice if I choose to. Only one of them, regardless which one, has to be successful. Yeah?
Okay.
If I do a combat action without rolling a black dice, however, then I'll always create a noise token, which will move the alert level up 1. The more noise I create, the more effective the guards become. So once we get into an orange band, then I have access to better guards. They're better trained and they're easier to protect you guys. If we get into the red, then we get the retainers out, which are the elite guards, and they'll quite easily kill the ninjas. So you want to try avoid getting into the red. Yeah. On top of that, you're under time constraints as well as the ninja player, because there's a turn base. So essentially, it's midnight. You snuck into the mansion, and you've got till morning, basically. If sun rises, same thing, the alarm's raised and you get caught and killed, and the guard player wins. Yeah? Cool. So let's start off. So as for so the first thing, like I said, would be to draw the mission, but since we're playing an open mission, we know what that is. We would then place our infiltration points, and this is essentially where the ninjas are going to start in the game. They need to be on the perimeter of the board, and the only stipulation is that they need to be 12 squares apart. On certain missions, when you have to escape, once you've acquired the mission objective, you'll draw from a 4-card deck, which will explain which of these you then need to escape by. So assuming the guards have blocked the other routes off, and that's your only available escape route. So, yeah.
Excellent. That's Excellent. I like that mechanic.
Okay, so you seem to have displaced an escape route.
Okay.
So you place those on the perimeter. The ninjas always have the first turn, so they'll be placed wherever you want. So
Holy smokes, there's an awful lot of guards out here, hey? And they have to be 12 spaces apart.
they have to be 12 spaces on the perimeter.
These, I will stick one here. I will stick These are doors to the outside though, right?
Yes.
Fascinating. 12 lateral or 12 along the perimeter?
12 around the perimeter, so it would be counted along that. Now this is considered open space, so you could come into here because this is a courtyard, so you could, argument say, place one down here if you chose to. Or now.
Want to learn how to play Yu-Gi-Oh? Or learn the brand new Pendulum Summon? We're giving demos all day at the Yu-Gi-Oh experience in Wabash 1, 2, and 3.
Goodness, I think I'll go 3, 6, 9 here. Facings matter in this game?
Facings only matter to the guards.
Oh, okay.
So the guards have two states. So they have the normal state, which they start in, and then they have an alerted state. So if you do something that alerts them to your presence, they get a marker. And then their facing is mute as well. So because it means that they're looking behind them, they're making trying to check out what's happening. They're aware essentially. Yeah. So if you want to move past a guard, in this case, let's say you want to move past this guard, he would be standing there. His area of influence is the amount of squares that he can operate, has influence over. These are pretty, call them lazy guards at the moment, it's a working title name. I'm sure it'll change, but they have an area of influence of 1. In the normal state, it only extends to the sides and the front.
Oh.
So if I would say if you want to walk past here, you do that unopposed. Yeah? If they're alerted, however, you have to try sneak past them, and that will use stealth dice for it to do. Yeah? And as I said, once they become alerted, then their area of influence is 360 degrees.
And the light sources are making a difference?
Not the light sources are making a difference. So that was a throwback from playtesting.
Okay.
There is cards that allow the guard to place lanterns down, and those lanterns probably become no-go zones for the ninjas. If they move through them, they become automatically detected. Yeah. This is the cards that allow me to alarm the doors, so that we put bells on the doors, etc. So if they open those doors, we can automatically make. Yeah. Cool.
Perfect. Okay.
So we placed our.
2 points.
Yeah, there should be a third one. I'm not quite sure. Oh yeah, it's the third one. Yeah. So.
I'll place it on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More than enough.
Well, cool. Okay, so once the ninja players always have the first turn, and the first step they do is what we call the plan stage. So they're going to plan out what they're going to do.
Okay.
Yeah? Now the ninjas obviously always work cooperatively, so sometimes you might need to use the stealth ninja to do certain things, the combat ninja to do other things. Yeah. So we assign where we want them to start from, and we plan out a route for each ninja with these markers. So we can move 6 squares in a turn. Each ninja can move 6 squares. Yeah? So as an example, if you were, I'll just take the closest one for me. You can always move diagonally, except through doorways. So doorways we'd have to move straight through, so we could move in 5 minutes like that. Now that's only your planned route. When you move, you can't deviate from that route, but you can stop at any point along that route. So if you choose not to complete the move, you can, but you can't deviate from the route you've chosen to go. Yeah. Okay, so that's the first stage we do, is we plan out what they're going to do.
Okay. So I'll stick.
Just for reference, this board is slightly bigger than the actual board. It's just a misprint in the from the printers. It's come out 20% bigger than it's supposed to be.
Slightly.
Yeah.
I'll put this one here, and I'll put her route out. So if I'm here, do I have to influence that?
Yeah, you can only move through dotted lines into the building. So for argument's sake, if you wanted to go through the door, you'd have to move through that point. Yeah.
Okay. So that way.
Yeah.
And then I could move this way.
That's it. Yeah. You don't have to move onto it. So you only have to be adjacent to it as well. So you could move, for argument's sake, there, then go in and search the other one if you chose to.
I think that's a plan. And I'll throw this one here. 1, 2, 3.
How about a pitch? I love a good pitch.
4, 5. That way I'm at least stationed back here. I'll do this one. only move through the dotted lines.
That's it, yeah.
I'll go this way. This way. Actually, I'll go.
Cool.
And I'll take. Well, that's this one here.
Yep.
Oh, I took the wrong feet for him. Actually, you know what? I'll just swap them out.
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's swap them out.
They're not close together, so I think we're
This one. So do I have to move?
But you're going to have to make a check to move through the doors, yeah?
Yeah. So I should actually move her spot here because she can only move laterally
Yeah, that's
through the door,
it, yeah.
right?
Okay, but the actual engine itself is easy enough. It's the coming together.
Cool.
No, that's fair enough.
Try that.
Okay, so once you've had the plan stage, obviously there would be
Yeah.
discussions if there were multiple players on what you're going to
Sure.
do. We have an initiative roll, so each ninja has a dice they roll, and they're going to add their initiative value to it. And that's going to be the order that they move, activate in. Yeah? So for argument's sake, he gets a 2 because he's got a -1. He gets a 2, which means he'll move first because he's got a better
Higher
value.
base.
And she'll move first. So you activate them in that order. Yeah?
Okay.
Now, as long as they don't move through a door, or through the area of influence of a guard, they're free to move along the route they've chosen.
Okay.
Yeah? So for argument's sake, for her, if she starts moving, she wants to move then. Yeah. Now, in order to move through the door, there's 2 types of doors. So we've got a reinforced door, which are wooden doors, and we've got the rice paper doors. So if she wants to move through the doors, there's 2 ways to, you can either try pick the locks and open it quietly, you won't make any noise.
Or bash it.
Or you can break it in. Now if you break it in, you'll generate a noise token. You'll also increase the alert level by 1. So every time you make noise, that's the consequences of it, yeah? Now, the noise tokens give my guards additional actions than they would normally have.
Yeah.
So the more noise you make, the more responsive that the guard player can be to the ninjas, yeah?
Okay.
Cool. So in order to break the door down, you need to get a 5 if it's a solid door.
Yeah.
Now, as I said earlier, as long as you're rolling one stealth, one black dice, you can choose to roll as many of your dice as you want, and those will replenish every turn. Yeah.
turn.
But if you want to search now, so for instance, you break that door down and come here and you want to search, you need to make sure you've left at least one black die in order to do that. Yeah.
Oh gosh. Okay. So.
And she's very good though, very much. She gets +2 to a roll for stealth dice. So realistically, you're only going to need a 3 up.
Oh, that's perfect
But
then.
if you fail, then it's the same as if
Making
you
a
didn't.
big noise.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to make noise. You're feeling lucky.
I'll try it. I'll
Yeah.
try it.
Okay, so perfect. So no noise. You open the door quietly, and you can continue moving.
Continue moving. I will go here, here, and then I'll take the action.
Okay, so you want to search on that location. Yeah. So.
And she gets to
2, so you would need a 4 up. And again, if you fail this roll, you're going to make noises, assuming you're lifting floorboards or whatever it is that you're doing to locate your objective. Yeah.
I'll roll 2.
So basically, if you get paid.
Cool. So you succeed. Only one dice has to succeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So every time you search successfully, you draw a card.
Okay.
Now, some of these are good. Most of them are good for the ninjas. Some of them, unfortunately, aren't very good. So if it's an event card, you have to play it immediately. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So it's disturbed. So it says place a lazy guard. So you've come in there, looking around. There's been a guard sleeping in there. So we place a lazy guard there. Yeah. But it doesn't. You still collect this token, and that will be the pool that you generate in order to succeed in your mission.
Perfect.
Yeah. Cool.
And then
Does it say he's alerted? He's in the alerted state. So because he's alerted and you created noise means you are unfortunately going to be detected as well. Yeah.
Okay.
So now the fact that you detected means that all your dice rolls are going to be at -1. So yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
Cool.
So and then I can continue on.
You can continue on. Yeah.
And then I go 1, 2 to here.
That's it. Yeah.
This is where I'll stay. that's that.
Yeah. Now, if you had more black dice, or you hadn't used the 2, you would then again be able to search that one because you're adjacent to it. But because you've only got white dice left now, you can't do that.
So this is, okay.
Cool.
5, 1, 2, 3, 4. Am I missing a footstep? This one. 5, 6. There it is. Okay, perfect. Alright.
So then you would activate your second ninja.
My second ninja is this one.
Yep.
He's over there. So
like
he
moving
will
for
try
you?
to go through the door.
Yep.
He doesn't get +1 to anything.
No.
He'll try to move through the door quietly.
Okay.
So
5. So he does.
Well done.
Nice roll.
1. So I take the
Yep.
door.
The door gets removed.
And I'll stop there.
Okay.
And I'll wait.
Cool.
Patience. Grasshopper or something.
Grasshopper's chest. Yeah.
We don't discriminate.
Oh, well, actually, my experience is they're very fickle.
Alright.
Okay, so then the last ninja to go, which
The last
is
ninja
this
to
guy
go
here.
is my bruiser.
And he can move unopposed because he doesn't have to go through a door.
Big bruiser. I'm missing one.
Oh, he's one short.
There we go. He goes there.
Yeah.
And that. Perfect. Okay.
Comes his.
Comes here.
Okay, so that's then the end of the ninja turn. There's no more ninjas to activate. It becomes the guard's turn. So the guard player has a number of actions indicated by the alert level and the type of boss he has.
Okay.
So in this case, it's telling me I've got 6 action points available because we're in the yellow alert level here. And these action points is what I use to activate my guard and try and find you or whatever like that. Yeah. And the noise counters that you create in your turn generate me additional actions. But they're special actions in the fact that the guards have a number of actions that they can have. So in this case, I can only spend 2 action points on this card.
Okay.
But noise counters I can spend in addition to those actions. So it allows it to be responsive to the more noise you make, the more responsive the guard player is going to be. Yeah, cool. So it also has a card deck, which tells me my hand size is 5.
Yes. Okay.
So this is the first turn I draw 5 cards. Okay, and I can play these freely as long as I have a slot available on the boss's playmat to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so I've got some good cards here. Okay, so fortunately I've got quite a good hand, so I'm going to play first.
Oh my gosh.
I'm going to alert a guard.
He stacked the deck, he knows what to do.
I think so. I have to guess.
Oh, which card did you learn?
This guy, yeah.
How convenient I get an event.
Okay, okay, I'm also going to play.
Of course
I'm going to play this one. So
to win.
it's called There They Are, which allows me to relocate 3 guards that are already on the board. Yeah.
Really?
So-
Oh my.
Okay, to relocate. 1, 2.
Oh my.
I don't think you're winning, Teri.
This is looking bad.
Attention Gen Con attendees! Please visit the Buy Zone booth to pick up your free Skull and Shackles Goblin Pirate Mask, a daily free Pathfinder button, and limited edition
Allows
Gen
me
Con
to move
exclusives
2
like
guards.
Pathfinder Battles, promotional miniatures,
move action.
and
So
a
the guards
special
move
Goblin
2.
mini-made figurine, free with qualifying purchases.
Okay, now I'm going to spend my action point. So I'm going to activate this guard first, and I'm going to do, because you are already detected, I can make melee actions against you.
Okay.
If you hadn't been detected, then I'd have to try to detect you first with a separate action. But in this case, I don't have to, so I'm going to spend one of my action points. I always roll a single dice, and the target number is your defense value. So she's not very good. She's only got a 4. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I only need to get a 4. which I fail. So I'm going to spend his second action, spend the points, try it again, which I succeed. Now, so that means you take a wound. So we lose a dice from her pool, and we replace it with a wound track. So when you replenish your pool, you only going to get 3 dice now.
Gotcha.
And if you take another wound, so on your dice until you killed. Yeah?
Right.
Okay. On top of that, though, because you created noise markers,
Yes.
I can, if I choose to, spend another action with that card, but only the noise counter one, because that's the additional actions. Yeah. I also can't come back to a guard and activate him, so I have to spend both of his actions at one go. Again, the noise counters circumvent that, which means I can activate all of them, see how things work, and then come back and reactivate them, but only with noise counters. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
So activate this guy. I'm going to go 1 there. Okay, and then I'm going to attempt to detect your other ninja.
Okay.
Yeah, because they're not detected already. Now, if I'm successful, it's going to alert me. It's going to detect you. Yeah.
Okay.
Again, it's a target value of 5.
All right.
Yeah. But it's modified by your stealth value. Now, he doesn't have a modifier, but if there was, then it would move it up or down. A 6 is always successful, and a 1 is always a failure, regardless of the modifiers. Yeah. So his second action is I'm going to attempt to detect you, so I need a 5, which he fails miserably with the 1.
Gosh.
So he thinks there might be something there, but he's not too certain. Yeah.
Okay.
Let's activate this guy. 2. Activate him for a second action.
All right.
2. And then I will, with my noise counter, I will activate that card.
Yep.
And I will again attempt to attack you.
Oh.
Which he does, so you lose another dice. Yeah. Cool.
Okay.
Okay, now I've got no more actions left. If I had action points remaining at this point, I could use them to spawn more guards into the barracks. That's always the last action. As well as in your turn, if I've got slots available on the boss mats, I can play cards in response to something you're doing, if I have an appropriate card, obviously. So I'm going to keep those 2 for next turn, yeah?
Fair
And then
enough.
that's finished, so it'll be back to the...
Doing it stealthily?
Yeah,
By
so
both black die?
that's correct, yeah. So you only need, bear in mind you're going to get a -1. So their defense value of those guards is only 2, so essentially you need 3 up on either dice. So they're successful, so you kill the guard quite easily, and you did it. And because you were successful, you did it quietly, so you generated no noise.
Those are spent. And then I will throw her into a safe place. Away from the guards, who will hurt her in very bad ways. So this token comes off? Or is she still detected?
No, she's still detected. If she wants to conceal herself, fade into the shadows, she needs to forfeit a turn, yeah?
Okay.
To become undetected, yeah?
Perfect. That's good to know. Buddy with the Death Wish over here is going to come through here. He'll search.
Okay. So the difficulty on that is a 6. So he's got no bonuses, so you're going to have to get a 6.
No!
Unlucky. So you generate a noise token.
Oh my gosh. Well, that's bad.
Would it have been better for her to use a black and a white?
It would have, yeah, definitely.
Oh,
Because you can always,
do that.
as long as one of the dice is the right
Oh,
color.
I
So
didn't
maybe
realize,
just
okay.
change it out for the turns if,
Can I search again?
Yeah, you can search. As long as you've got dice, you can search, yeah.
Might as well.
You failed
nothing.
again.
Extra noise count.
It's 2. That's 2 now.
Terrible. I'm not rolling good enough for this. Well, hopefully I can roll to kill some guards. Somewhat stealthily. I'll go. Yeah.
Because you're now going to move through his area of influence, you're going to have to try sneak past him, yeah, or kill him, one or the other.
I'll kill him.
So either way, though, when to get to that square, you're going to have to sneak or make a noise counter. It's entirely up to you. So
I'll roll it.
If you want to try to be quiet, then you can be quiet. But when you attack him, then you're not going to have a stealth dice because he's only got 1. So somewhere in this equation, you're definitely going to make noise. Eh?
Oh, so people detect him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I will.
You gotta go and like.
Yeah, let's kill. Oh, I have to move there first.
Yeah.
He will detect me. You know
You will
what?
still definitely kill him, but it's just down to the fact whether you want to generate that noise token.
Yeah, I'll take the noise token.
Yeah.
I'll
Okay,
take
so
the
you
noise
can freely move there, which means you don't have to roll.
Yeah.
You can then do that. Now, when you attack him,
Yeah.
I'd suggest you use the stealth dice so that if you're successful, you don't generate a second noise token.
Perfect.
Yeah. And he needs anything but ones, which is quite easily to dispatch him. And because you were successful, you don't generate that additional noise token.
And then I can go
He
through.
can freely move there because he moves through no one's zone of control.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
Nice
and
and
then
So that's all the ninjas, is it?
that's that.
Yeah, now he's moved. So it's back to the guard turn. So I can dispose of these cards.
Sure.
I can draw back to my hand size. So hope it's not as good a hand again. Okay. I've got still only 6 actions, although I'm 1 point away. I'll play that card. Allows me to place a bell on that first door. Means if you come through that, it'll automatically create noise. Nothing else too exciting. Okay.
She totally checked.
I'm going to go 1, 2 to there. Yeah.
He just has a death wish. That's what I'm
And
saying.
I'm going to try to detect you. So it's a 5 value. I
Okay.
don't have any modifiers, so it's just a 5, which I do.
Oh, you're rolling extremely well.
If I didn't know better, I'd say they were weighted, hey. But okay, now that you detected, it will allow me to attack you. So I'm going to spend my second action to do just that. Yeah. I'm also going to play a card which reduces your defense to 3 for this attack. Yeah.
Okay.
Just for this attack. So I get 1 dice. I need a 3. Maybe it scales me eventually. Yeah. So I'm unsuccessful. Yeah.
All right.
So that was only for 1. So he's done his 2 actions, but because I got noise tokens,
Yeah.
which is very bad for the ninjas, I can perform an additional actions with him, which I will try attack you. So your defense is back to its normal value now, which is 4, is it for him? Yep. Which I
5.
managed to
That
create
one
a
is
wound.
5.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, he's at 5. Yeah, I've got a 6, so he creates a wound.
Yeah.
So he gets a wound in one of his dice pools. Yeah,
I
it always starts
select-
from the bottom.
Oh,
No, it always
always
starts from the bottom. Yeah.
I guess, as you get more hurt, the less stealthy you are.
Yeah, exactly. So. Okay, I'll spend a noise token to try and detect him. Now because he's got a -1, so I only need a 4 up to detect him, which I do.
Yep. Oh my gosh. This is
Not the
quick.
best in a demo when the dice just favour you endlessly.
The
hey,
dice are incredible, but
Don't you know you're supposed to lose the demos?
I know, I'm trying.
this is not working.
It's just not working out too well. Okay, so I've still got 3 action points left. So in
Alright.
this case, I'm going to spend 2 to recruit 2 additional guards.
Oh my gosh.
Use
You
one
didn't
into
even
that
move
map.
up to the fabulous god.
Run into that
cards.
back, yeah. And that noise token, I will activate him. I will try attack him.
Sure.
His defense is 5, is it? We'll give it a go, why not? Okay, fortunately, or unfortunately, depends which side you're on, he doesn't. So that's my turn complete. I've got no more action points left. It's down to you.
Okay.